Known as the movie capital of the world, bringing films to audiences that provide entertainment and at times thought-provoking drama, Hollywood recently hosted a different kind of media through a unique forum broadcast live worldwide on Supreme Master Television on Saturday, July 26, 2008. The Climate Change International Conference was held at the Pacific Design Center in West Hollywood, California, USA. Organized by the Supreme Master Ching Hai International Association, it was a conference that brought together green Hollywood celebrities and notable speakers. Co-hosted by Emmy Award-winning television journalist and vegan Jane Velez Mitchell, the event was informative and the subject matter highly relevant. 3 panels were conducted, each with a different theme: the urgent scientific facts of the climate crisis, its spiritual perspectives, and the transformational role of the media. Invited as a special guest speaker, Supreme Master Ching Hai graciously attended via live video conference to answer questions from the panelists as well as the audience. We now invite you to join us for the rebroadcast of the Climate Change International Conference.
To quote somebody who we all think is pretty smart, Albert Einstein, "Nothing will benefit human health and increase the chances for survival of life on Earth as much as the evolution to a vegetarian diet." This is Albert Einstein. Nothing will benefit human health and increase the chances for survival of life on Earth as much as the evolution to a vegetarian diet. What more needs to be said? Now, there are many different means to get this information out to the public. Dr. Tuttle's book, The World Peace Diet, is incredible. David Gershon's book, Low Carbon Diet, is also incredible. I suggest that all of you pick up 1 or 2 of those. And the reality is that meat feeds few at the expense of many. While we could be feeding ourselves and others with grain, we're instead feeding grain to cows. This makes no sense. Some of the stats that have been said today that are really crucial are that 16 pounds of grain goes to create 1 pound of meat. That is not a good equation. The idea that I like people to really consider is that for every serving of meat that you sit down at your dinner table and eat, the grain and cereals that went to feed the animal that created that meat could have fed 45 to 50 people. So when you sit and look at that one helping of meal, that one burger at the one restaurant, think about 45 or 50 people with empty bowls standing around you, hungry. That's really what's going on. There is no disconnect anymore. The most stark fact that I think that I've read and come across, and Supreme Master actually mentioned it earlier, I'm not sure if you guys picked up on it, but in America alone, the amount of grain that is used to feed just the cows in America would feed 840 million people. That is more than the entire population of starving people on the planet. So let's get real about this. Just in America, just the cows that we feed the grain would solve starvation worldwide. So the idea that what's on the end of your plate doesn't matter and is disconnected can't exist anymore. So what we do at Creative Citizen is, especially for Americans, a phased approach to becoming a vegan is very important. I've been a vegetarian for 5.5 years and grew up in Chicago. It's really tough to not eat meat when you live in a place like Chicago. And so I phased it out slowly, and actually it wasn't that slow, but the reality is I took steps to get there. And so what we have on Creative Citizen are different creative solutions that people can do in regards to eating a plant-based diet. First is eat less beef. Okay? You don't have to eliminate everything immediately. Eat less beef. Then the next is eat no beef. Then the next is eat just fish. Then the next is full-on vegetarian, and then finally vegan. And so this, especially for Americans who are extremely entrenched in a meat-eating diet, this is a way that people can really get out of that trap and get into a healthy lifestyle, and at the same time save an incalculable amount of resources for the rest of humanity. Supreme Master's got a really cool, convenient method, which is a good place to start, where you take 10 days out of a month off. So if you want to do 10 days in a row, it's kind of like a long fast, or if you want to do every third day or weekends, whatever the case may be, this is a way to help you realize that you don't actually need to eat meat, which is really the most difficult mental barrier for people to get over. And infusing it 10 days a month, I think, is a very effective method. So all in all, I'd like to really get us back to the reality that having dominion over plants and animals means stewardship. That is the real definition. That's the real translation of that word. It's stewardship. It's not kill it, eat it, and destroy it. So, and then beyond that, that vegetarianism and veganism is a very wonderful thing when it comes to the environment, but there are infinite amount of creative solutions that you can tap into in your daily life. And that it is time now for our human race to act. We cannot wait for governments. We cannot wait for big business. We cannot wait for our neighbors. We must begin now. And it's time for the individual, each and every one of us, to stand up and make that change. And once we individually do that, one by one, the globe as a whole will shift. So I encourage you all to go to creativecitizen.com and really begin to infuse these things into your life and realize that there are so many things that it is absolutely unacceptable to say it's too big for me and I can't do it. It is every facet of your life and you can do it. And frankly, we must.
Yes, we must. We must. Just like he said, we must do it. Either that or we will perish. Thank you.
Thank you. We have one last set of questions from the audience, and the first is from a professional stuntman, Robert Alonzo.
Master Cheng Hai and John Ratz. How can artists and entertainers use their influence to make living sacred and preserving life cool and in style? Are celebrities a key element in the evolution of humanity to a world of peace and compassion? Thank you.
Oh, I let John answer. He's smart and cool.
Thanks a lot. There are a lot of parts to that question. I personally feel that in our particular culture we place too much emphasis on celebrities and not enough on people such as Supreme Master who are out there doing the good work. It's a big, big population, and there are a lot of people doing good work that are not recognized.
True.
And that's what when I speak of a shift in media values, we need to start honoring more everyday people who are doing good work and holding them out as models so that I don't think there's anybody in this room who doesn't find it very, very fascinating and helpful and inspiring when we hear of people, whether in India or Africa or Europe or other countries, that are, individuals who are out there on the streets connecting with whatever the problem is and working to make it better. And the way that celebrities can be helpful in that regard is that, I kind of look at them as transitionary. Because right now, many people do still pay attention to celebrities. And until